When I started to think about the ideas from the first couple weeks of school, I was thinking about community involvement, collaboration between teachers, respect for individual students' learning styles, enjoying the gifts each student brings. A common denominator between many of these things seems to be human connection. Like Wagner said, individual human connections can turn compliance into commitment. Like the Monk article, certain elements in our culture and environment today are shutting out the human connection. And like Delpit said, the actual human connection can be missed in some of our interactions in the educational world.
Stuff. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. This one right here. Dedicate this one right here to everybody out there.
So I decided to try and represent human connection using networks. The network idea ties nicely into my field of mathematics. But when I thought about what the finished project would look like, it seemed a little flat, heavy-handed, obvious. So then I thought about videotaping the building of it. This seemed to me to add a couple of things. First, you see my process of building the idea, trying different things out, and making some mistakes, especially at the beginning, going different directions than I originally planned. Second, I was trying to convey an actual human connection, a connection to the process of building, of creating. I deliberately left my face out of the video because I wanted it to be a more abstract connection. Not to me as an individual, but to my hands, the movement, the process. Human connection is one of the main reasons why I want to teach. The individual one-on-one human connection is at the root of global change. It's hard to hold in your mind the true nature and scope of global interconnection today. Money, political power, environmental connections and impacts. But I can make a connection to my student born in Laos, and immediately the world becomes smaller. I can talk to my student whose grandparents are still in Guatemala and have an instant connection to the impacts of abstract concepts like NAFTA, globalization, international commerce, and multiculturalism. An experience this week really brought home for me the power of connection. A certain sixth grader, I'll call him Jackson, had been getting into trouble pretty much all week, just for small offenses, but enough to really start building up. On Thursday, I was paired with Jackson to play a game where we took turns laying down blocks onto a grid, the object being to be the last person to play. It took a while to figure out the basic rules, and I was worried that we would just kind of struggle through. In our first real game, we came to a critical juncture, and Jackson thought carefully for a few minutes, and then placed his last few blocks in really a fabulous spot, winning the game. We launched into a conversation about his strategy, his thought process, and other possible outcomes of the game. I thought, if you just looked at this kid's record, you wouldn't see who he really was. We're so much more than our collection of paperwork, our report cards, principal write-ups, Wassel scores, our permanent file. We're three-dimensional, four-dimensional, infinite possibility in each one of us.